What's up, Elevate students? That is not the Rona right there. My head is cut off in this. There we go. Had to fix that. That would have annoyed me so much, but excuse me again, not the Rona. But just, I wanted to bring a quick word to you guys, a quick devotional from something, so just some stuff that I was reading. And I'm gonna have a blank here in my title, and I want you guys to kind of fill that in. But my title is There Is a, and then a blank right here. And as we go along here, I just want you guys to fill in that blank. So in many instances in the Bible, we see that Jesus encounters the unclean thing. And I was listening to a sermon from Victor Jackson this past week where he was preaching on, he was like, in the times where the unclean thing, God went into those circumstances, and that is where his glory showed and shined the most. And one story that just kind of like, when I was just studying and everything like this, was whenever Jesus and his disciples were on their way to Jerusalem, and as they were traveling, there were 10 lepers that came upon them. They were from a distance, and they yelled out to Jesus, "Have mercy on us." And he said, "Go into the priests and you shall be healed." And they went and they were cleansed of their leprosy. And out of all 10 of them, one of them came back to Jesus and, and just bowed at his feet, just praising him and thanking him for his healing. And Jesus said, "Rise up and go, your faith has made you whole." And you see a lot of times that when we think about Jesus, we think about so many of the physical healings. But in the reality, they were transformed in their faith as well, in so many times. And one of those instances that I was just reading was when Lazarus, it's just so crazy, the story. When Lazarus became sick, they came and they told Jesus, "Lazarus is sick, he's going to die." And Jesus purposely stayed where he was at for 2 more days. And everybody was telling him, Jesus, he wouldn't have died if you would have just came, if you would have just been there. And Jesus told his disciples, even before he left in that place, he said, "For your sake, I am glad I was not there, so that you may believe." And there were so many times, and just whenever I was reading this, it was just like, that in all of these uncertain times, that through all of the trials, all of the people that have suffered, that we may believe that God has the power. And I want to read from you the scripture that really just spoke out to me. And honestly, it's the second scripture in the whole Bible. And it says, "And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters." And then the next scripture is whenever God says, "Let there be light," and there was light. And so I just want to come to you guys with this simple word that there is a stirring. In today's world, there is a stirring of God's Spirit and of God's presence everywhere that you can see, all over the news. I was just on a meeting the other night for some youth workers, just some youth pastors across Southern California. And Brother Nelson Rivera, the youth president, said, there is a church in San Diego. It's a mega church, but they are broadcasting on Fox. And that's just so crazy. Millions of people are going to see that. And honestly, in this time right now, we see it with our country and with everything. There is a hunger for Jesus and for his name and for his glory to come down. And in this time, and and a lot of times we view God as our Mr. Fix-It. We come to him when we need it. But this is the time where we need to build our faith. And like Jesus said, for your sake, that, I will show you and that you will believe. And so in this time, I just encourage you guys to continue to read and to build your faith so that there can continue to be a stirring and that God will ultimately just shine through and his glory will shine through in this time. I love you guys. Continue to be reading and continue to keep up with this channel, and we'll see you guys later.